What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a video on this budget banger knife. This is the Schrade Divergent, $25. I think this knife is great for the price. I don't have any other knives in my collection that are $25 that even come close to the quality of this knife. So yeah, this thing is cool, man. Got some nice G10 scales here. Perfect amount of texturing. It's not too aggressive and it's not too minimalistic. It's a pivot style lock. The thumb activators are nice and smooth. They're not too aggressive. They're not sharp or anything like that. They feel really good. They stick out in just the right amount here. Lanyard hole running through. You got a T8 for the pivot screw, T6 for the clip and the body screw. It is a see-through construction, full stainless liners. It's a low carry. It's not a deep carry, but it is reversible tip up carry for right and left side. The action on this is very good. It features a modified drop point Oz 8 satin finished hollow ground blade. It's got nice fullers on here. You got some nice swedging going on. You got the little Oz 8 there. Nice sharpening choil as well, so that's very, very good. Dual thumb studs for deployment for right and left side. I think all in all, I think they did a great job with this. The old model of this is maybe like a revised edition. Used to say Schrade right across the blade there. Took up about 2/3 of the blade. So I'm glad they revised it. They just got their little logo here. But unfortunately, this side does say Divergent. It's small, but we all know what knife we bought. We don't need that to be on the blade, but it's a minor little nitpick. As well as it saying Schrade on the clip, I don't think that needs to be there. We could have just had the Schrade logo up here as well, but it's just a minor nitpick. I think this knife feels very good in the hand with that little ramp for your thumb on this harpoon style blade. Feels really good. Yeah, I think it fits out really nice. There's no hot spots, maybe just a hair on the clip. Would have been nice had they had this clip do a deep loop, a loop over deep carry, kind of angling down, you know, like this style clip here. That would have been very cool, but you know, they had to cut costs where they could, so I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to be cutting into timber with this or anything, so I think it's fine. But for 25 bucks, you know, it's fantastic. It's running on ball bearings. I think they call it the glide technology or smooth glide technology. The action on this for 25 bucks is just wild. Yeah, it just works very good. But two things that I do wish they had done with this, well, there's several, I guess, but two major things. I wish they would have hollowed out or milled out the liners inside for some weight reduction. This knife sits about 3.5 ounces, and it would have been nice if they would have milled those out. It would have been sitting closer to 3 ounces, maybe even less. The other thing I wish they would have done is, you know, contour down here on the G10 on both sides for righties and lefties, where you could just get to the thumb studs a little better. That would have been really cool. But the edges of the G10 are pretty rounded. They're not too sharp. The fit and finish of this knife is done very good. Yeah, all in all, I think it's a great little knife, especially for the price. The blade is pretty centered. It might sit a little bit to the clip side. So there's that. Measurement on this bad boy. Cutting edge is just a hair over 3 inches, and the blade is meeting the scales at 3 1/4. The scales or handle on this knife is between 4 1/4 and 4.5 inches. Let's do some weight on this thing. I'm pretty sure it's right around 3.5 ounces, but let's just make sure. Grams, 99.4 grams, 3.5 ounces. There you go. Some size comparisons. This knife really reminds me a lot of the SOG Terminus XR, but this is half the price. You know, this has D2 steel. It's got a better steel, but it's half the cost. So, I mean, this is going for, I don't know, 40, 50, 60. I've seen it range all over. And I do think this has better action, to be honest. the terminus, it just feels heavy. Like when I use the flipper tab, it feels pretty heavy. I don't know. It's just bulky, but I mean, it still has good action, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels kind of heavy to me, but they both have G10. They're both manufactured in China. If I had to pick for the price and the action and the weight and all that, I think I would go with this Schrade Divergent. I like the blade shape better. This is flat ground, this is hollow ground, but I don't know. I personally like this little guy. I think this thing's very cool. You know, with this knife here, 25 bucks, this is a must get in my opinion. I mean, who can't afford to get this knife for $25? I think you should definitely get it and try it. But size comparison against this Terminus XR. There you go for that. We'll do a width comparison as well. We'll put it up against the Civivi Elementum. This is D2, also hollow ground like the Schrade with black G10. We're going to do the Civivi Vision FG, white G10 as well. And then I do want to put this up against the Benchmade bug out so you guys can kind of see the size comparison to the bug out. This is the M390 steel with the aluminum scales. So pretty close. You could kind of get a good ballpark of the size here. So real quick, edge retention chart. We're going to look here. Oz 8 sitting right here, right above HCR 13 MOV. This one here does a pretty good description. Oz 8, it looks like it sits very low, which, I mean, it does on this chart here, but it doesn't have any of the cheaper steels, 8CR, 7CR, all that. So it sits here at a 3, but toughness of Oz 8 sits up here at a 4, which is better than, as you can see, N690, VG10, 154 CM. So it's got good toughness, and it's got decent edge retention. I mean, Oz 8 for the price, 25 bucks, it's a good steel. So I still think this is a budget banger knife. I really like the shape. I really like the action. I like the attention to detail. I like the swedging. I like the fullers. I like the little ramp. But it would have been cool to maybe have a little jimping up here, maybe on the spine. You know, like I said, mill out the liners and get some contouring here. But for 25 bucks, I can't really complain that much. Like I said, I got a bunch of $25 knives that don't even come close to this thing. So Schrade, I give Schrade props. I hope they keep kind of putting things out like this. I would really love it if they would revise this model, come up with a loop over deep carry clip, put some contouring in here, mill out these liners. It'd be awesome. I wouldn't mind paying 40 bucks for this knife if they do those little tweaks. So yeah, anyway, fantastic knife. I'm glad that I got it to review it. I like this knife. I'm going to be carrying this knife. So I hope you guys do as well, and I hope you enjoy the video. We're going to catch you on the next episode. Peace out.